Good morning, comic book fans. Welcome back to Comics in 5 Minutes. I'm your Evolving Shorty, and we're going to take a look at The Butcher's Boy today. This one, I do not mind admitting, I bought based on the cover. And I know you shouldn't judge books by covers. I know that's like a long-standing thing, but I have worked in bookshops, many bookshops over my life, and I know it is absolutely a thing that happens. It's why people spend money getting artists to do fantastic covers. And it can work. Like, you know, people do pick stuff up because it has a really cool cover, and I don't mind admitting I ordered this in without anybody ordering it for the store, because I figured a cover like this is going to stand out. That is, like, really cool, it's really bold, it does a lot without being too detailed, it effectively starts the story straight then and there. The question kind of has to be, does it live up to that? Because I will criticise a comic book if it deserves criticising. I do like comic books more than I dislike them. Obviously, I own a comic book store. But if something doesn't work well, my job isn't to just tell everyone it's great so they'll come and buy comics from me. It's actually to tell you if it's good or not, so you can make a bit more of an informed decision, at least based on my taste and my opinions. This one absolutely nails almost everything it sets out to do. Very early on, we get very viscerally given examples of how the horror is going to play out in this. It's in the first few pages is stunningly unsettling, and I like this. Like, for me, this is the best kind of horror. I should be able to feel vaguely uncomfortable as well as sometimes actually scared. Sometimes I can just enjoy something because it is gory, but that's not the same thing. This, it is certainly gory, and it very much front streets that, but in a way which doesn't explain why the things are happening, and the unsettling nature that we are seeing so many things that are going to have happened in the future, but don't know why yet. The first 5 or 6 pages do this, and every single page is brilliant. The colouring, the line work, the detail when it's necessary is all fantastic. The artwork absolutely lives up to the cover. It is nice to see that the cover artist is the same as the internal artists, which would be Justin Greenwood, by the way. I've forgotten his name earlier. He is fantastic. He does everything he needs to do, but there is a point where, after those initial pages, where it sets its stall out so effectively that it takes its foot off the gas a little bit. Now, I think it makes sense why they do this. I think it's kind of just playing into the trope of a lot of horror stuff where we get these people who are not exceptionally likeable. It kind of makes it easier to stomach terrible, terrible things happening to them. And it also gives room for character growth as the story progresses. Obviously, I don't know what's going to happen here. I've only read issue 1, it's the only one that's out, but I can kind of see from what I know of horror tropes that would be a good way to go. But it does take a while to get to a bit more of information about what's going on, and we get kind of no other option but to go on one of the most excruciatingly uncomfortable fun days out I've ever encountered anywhere. It's 6 friends, well, I say so, it's 3 friends, and they're partners, kind of partners, they're other friends, and hardly any of them are good people. There is an Instagram influencer type who is ridiculously enthusiastic. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's almost caricature, it's almost comically overblown, but I also believe people like that actually do exist. Thankfully, I've never met any of them. But I have no problem believing that somebody is that determined to be known and drive engagement and just wants everyone to encounter everything they do through her lens, that it's horrible. I hate her. I hate everything about her. We also have a dude who's so insecure but also so self-absorbed that he plays the victim, like, every single chance he gets, continually driving the conversation back to himself in ways that are demonstrably uncomfortable for everyone else involved. Most of it coming down to him having an overblown sense of how important he was to somebody else, where, from the other person's point of view, the girl he was not in a relationship with, they were just fooling around a little bit. Now, don't get me wrong, she's not great either. She clearly knows who this guy is, and in the few pages I got to encounter him in the comic book, he's a terrible human being, and if she was going to behave the way she did, she kind of had to know something like this was going to happen. I'm not saying, like, she deserves the crap she gets from him. There's no victim blaming here. But it is worth pointing out that she also is a little bit in her own bubble and wasn't fully aware of the outside world in a way that, stuff going back to bite her on the arse, it's not entirely undeserved. And that's a grey area, and I don't like the fact that I'm thinking that way, but it is just, yeah. Then we get the really cool one-page payoff where it explains an awful lot of what's going on, sets up the fact that we've got unreliable narrators, and that there is a whole bunch of history to be explored, and then we're going to get more into that later on as the story progresses. I can't wait to see how it goes. I hope terrible things happen to all of the people involved. That's it for this one. I've got a couple more things to review, but it might be a bit quiet for the rest of the week. But make sure you do the social media stuff so you do get to see all the stuff if you are thus inclined. Until I see you again, though, look after each other, everyone. Stay safe. Bye.